What's going on, everybody? Welcome to the video. So a couple of my goals for this year are to be able to deadlift 500 pounds or more, and also be able to run a sub 5-minute mile concurrently, like within the same time frame, preferably within the same day or one after the other. So last night I did my deadlifts. I wanted to get it all in the same day, but I worked super late last night, so I kind of decided, you know what, I got the deadlifts in, that's good enough. But I'm out here today. I'm gonna get my 1 mile run in. Weather's not too bad, it's about 45, but at least it's sunny. 13 miles per hour for the wind, so not ideal, but it's kind of, I'm just gonna work with what I've got today, and I'm just gonna see how I do. I don't really have any crazy expectations. I think I can hit around 6 or a little under. I'm not going to film them run. It's a half-mile loop, so it'll be 2 laps, but I'll just go ahead and share the time when I'm finished, and I'll let you guys know how it goes. All right, so like I mentioned, we are working our way up to a 1 rep max on the deadlift today. I always warm up starting with 135 just to get things going. Even though this weight is fairly easy for me at this point, I still start there. And as you'll see here, the goal here is to keep your back straight and brace your core, and you're going to be pushing from the ground and keeping your core firm the whole time as you pull the weight up. From there, I typically jump up to 225 for my next set. A lot of times I will do about 90-pound jumps all the way up to about 315 or 405, just because that's where I know I'm comfortable moving. Those weight ranges usually work pretty well for me, and everybody is different, so definitely work within your comfort zone. I tend to always also use a double overhand grip for about as long as I can. Once the grip starts slipping, I will usually switch to an over-underhand grip. And usually you'll start to see, I start to do that around 405 or heavier. I'll start using that switch grip. Usually anything after 315, I will put on my belt. Preferences is to put it on somewhere around 300 and 400 pounds. As you can see here, this is 365. The weight was still moving pretty well, and then I go into 405. Also pretty comfortable there with that weight. After that, I bumped it up to 445, and now we are starting to get a little bit closer to the max of my range. 445 still moved pretty well, not too bad. And I added a 10 on each side, so now I am going for 465. As you can see, the bar was kind of getting low on space. I've got the clips on at the very end of the bar. All right, and a little bit of struggle there, not too bad. It definitely didn't move as slow as I have seen some of my reps move before, but definitely a little bit sticky and moved a little slow and shaky on the way up. I probably should not have made a 30-pound jump here, but like I mentioned, the bar was getting full, so I decided instead of taking more plates off, I would just go ahead and add a 45-pound on instead of the 10s, which puts me at 495 here. And as you can see, I did not get it to move at all. Didn't even get it off the ground. Typically you want to make your bigger jumps towards the beginning and smaller jumps as you get closer to your peak. Today I had worked an 11-hour workday. So I finished up with 3 working sets of lat pull downs, and I superset that with cable rope curls. I did about 3 sets of 8 to 10 reps for each, and I called it a day there. Sometimes getting in some workout is better than getting in no workout at all. So you're feeling tired, maybe you get to the gym and you're like, you know what, I'm just not feeling it tonight. You know what, the fact that you got there and you did a little something is better than just not going at all. So yeah, take your wins when you can get them. Afterwards, I went ahead and foam rolled to loosen up. After moving all that weight, you definitely want to make sure you take the appropriate recovery actions. I like to foam roll. I typically follow the same routine. I tend to start with my calves. I forgot to start with my calves here, but I went straight for the hamstrings, did both sides. From hamstrings, I move up to my glutes and hit them at a slight angle so I don't roll directly over the sit bone. And then I move to my lower back. I usually break my back into 3 small sections, so I'll do lower, mid, and then upper around the shoulders. It doesn't really matter how you do it. That's just one of my preferences. After I hit the back, I'll go ahead and flip over and get the quads. Now, when you're foam rolling, it's good to make sure that you hit all the individual muscles as well. So as you can see here, I'm working in several different angles as I roll over my quads. I make sure to roll over to the side, get the sides, middle, and inner a little bit. And then, like I mentioned, I forgot calves, so I worked those in at the end. Alright, gonna wrap up the video here. It was a busy week. I ended up working late almost every day this week. I did my deadlifts Tuesday evening. I worked up to 1 rep max at 465. Honestly, I think I can get a little bit more than that, but I think I am still probably under 500 pounds right now. I am going to probably do another max day soon because I'm doing a competition with a buddy to see who has the best overall increase for bench, squat, and deadlift over a span of about 6 months. So I'll do another test then and see if I can get a little bit more out of the deadlift. Wednesday, I ended up doing legs, and then I went for my 1 mile run to see how fast I got that in. As soon as I stepped out of my car, that wind hit, and even though it was 45 and sunny, it still felt really cold. I was hoping to get a little extra running in after that max time mile, but I just went with the mile and called it a day for that. But I did manage to get my mile in 5 minutes and 56 seconds, even with that 13 miles per hour wind. So not bad, pretty happy with that. Yeah, and then Saturday I ended up doing my very first marathon. My goal was to at least get it in 1 hour and 41 minutes. That was what my Garmin race predictor said. If you're familiar with the app, it has a race prediction based on some of your previous runs. So yeah, its prediction was 1 hour and 41 minutes. I was hoping to come in a little bit below that, and I managed to get my half marathon in 1 hour and 34 minutes. I think I finished 14th overall for the race. It was the first time they had done this race. It was the John Brown Half Marathon up in Osawatomie, Kansas, which was close to the Kansas City area. It was kind of a trail-ish. It was kind of just like a bit of a dirt/gravel. So yeah, Definitely not a crazy like adventure trail run or anything like that, but I was super happy with that time. And so yeah, I definitely think hitting my marathon in under 3 is possible. I've got about 8 more months to train for that, so plenty of time to work in some more distance, work in some more speed. And yeah, I think more of the struggle is going to be getting under that 5-minute mile mark. But I definitely like to give myself ambitious goals. You know, you set the bar lower, it's easier to achieve, yes, but I think when you set the bar up a little bit higher, it makes you work harder. And even if I don't end up hitting that goal, like within the year or whatever, I know that eventually I'm going to be able to get there, and it'll just make it that more exciting when I do finally hit that goal. So you know, keep working at those, and eventually it's going to happen. Definitely, if you end up doing deadlifts and you haven't done them before, you do not want to do a max to see where you're at least until you've become very comfortable with the movement. It's definitely a high risk movement. There's a lot of opportunity for things to go wrong, hurt your back, pull some muscles. So definitely take it easy with the deadlift, get very comfortable with it, and just move up slowly and take your time with it. Thanks for tuning in to the video. I hope you enjoyed it, and I will see you guys next time.